empezando a preguntar por Vela.
¿Quién quiere ser el chico malo?
Otra vez. No, yo pregunto, no pasa nada. Pero no va a ser la primera.
Pues dale, yo me lo aviento.
Con todo lo del audio,
Dale
cuando hagan sus preguntas, nomás hagan un poco más, hacen la voz un poquito más, para no pasar el micrófono y que se escuche ahí. Y le damos.
No quiero que piense que le estoy gritando.
Sí.
Yo le pregunto, hombre, es la primera vez que me veo malo.
¿Va a llover?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Coach.
Recording in progress.
All right, we'll get started here with Coach Steve Cherundolo. Once again, we'll start in the room first and then transition to Zoom.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
Hey.
We just had Kellen here, and all of his experience playing against the Mexican national team, and he said that these were very emotional games. That if you don't manage those emotions, you can get bullied during a match like this. How do you see it, and if you agree with Kellen?
Well, it's not the Mexican national team we're playing.
No, I mean,
we're playing Monterrey.
Right.
But I understand the point.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think managing your emotions and matching their intensity is really important. But on top of that, they're fantastic footballers as well. So they have a lot of players who can hurt us, hurt any team, I should say. And I think what's exceptional about Monterrey is that they also have the physical abilities to beat you. So it's not just football, it's also physicality and intensity and tempo. So we have our work cut out for us, but I have seen our team play in a similar manner, and we have the ability as well. So I'm really looking forward to the matchup tomorrow night. It should be a good one.
And if you had an update on Carlos?
It'll be game time. We're working. He's working.
Thank you.
Coach, do you see the Monterrey as the biggest challenge on this side of the bracket, knowing that the next opponent will be an MLS team in order to get to the final?
It's a big obstacle. Whether it's the biggest, we'll find out tomorrow. But it's certainly one of the best teams in the tournament. And if you're trying to win a tournament, you have to beat those teams. So it's a big obstacle for us. We like challenges here.
Coach, I'm sure you've seen games between MLS and Liga MX. Are you surprised, or do you think the MLS is growing little by little? They're playing much better than the Mexican teams. Obviously, America and Guadalajara, their exit there really fast. Are you surprised by the performance of the MLS teams?
No. I also think we can't underestimate the fact that all of these Liga MX teams are playing away from home for a long time. And there's some travel there that they're not used to. So there are some disadvantages from the teams from Liga MX, but there are also disadvantages for the MLS teams as far as roster building goes and budget goes. And so I think the results have been pretty positive for MLS clubs, as you said. But to draw a real and true comparison, we would have to play next year the Leagues Cup in Mexico and to see how MLS teams do there, which I think would be very difficult. So it's really hard to come to a conclusion without having a real comparison like that. But I think having in the final 8 teams, 6 being the MLS is a good result for the MLS.
Do you think it would be fair to play one game here, one game in Mexico, and go from there?
I'm not sure. I don't think that's logistically possible. Just in the middle of the season, we're already stretching the players as much as we can, and then to add another game to each round is just too much. So I'm not sure that's a solution. Would it be more fair? Probably.
Steve, two questions. Just talking about the format, that same subject. LAFC is obviously in a very good position, playing 2 games and now going to the third one. So let's say the next year there's the Leagues Cups again, but LAFC is on the other side. You guys already played 4 games. You're gonna play your 5th, and you're facing a team that has only played 2 games. Do you think there should be a change in the format, or do you think it's fine?
I think there are a number of ways you can structure this tournament, but I apologize ahead of time. I'm not going to give you the answer you want. It is none of my business to come up with formats. So I'm going to focus on my job, which is preparing my team for tomorrow.
And one last one, and it's just totally different subject. You have played as a defender in very different levels, at all the top levels. When you see a player like Messi doing what he's doing, do you think this league has? Do you think that defenders can stop Messi in this tournament?
Of course, but it's not just one. It's never 1v1. It's a collective effort. I think teams who defend collectively well can make life difficult for him, amongst other players in this league too who are gifted. So it's never an individual effort. And if you do try to defend him with one player, that's not going to work. He's the best player in the world, in my personal opinion, and it's impossible to defend him alone. So it's always going to be a team effort or a collective effort. But yes, of course, it's possible.
Steve, I know it's not your decision, but it's out of your hands. But you would prefer to play all your games at the BMO Stadium instead of Rose Bowl, because at the end it becomes neutral for both teams, losing the home advantage. And if you have the opportunity, why don't take the decision to recognize the field and train over there?
Why don't we train there?
Yeah.
Oh. We feel comfortable here. We don't train. We've played there not too long ago against the Galaxy, so the players know the field, the atmosphere. So I don't think it's necessary to get used to the atmosphere or field. Would I prefer to play at BMO? Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So take a couple more questions from those on Zoom, starting with Justin Ruderman.
Hi, Coach. This is obviously the first match between LAFC and Monterrey, but you faced Fernando Ortiz last year in the Leagues Cup Showcase when he was at Club America. That was obviously friendly, but is there anything you take from that game or the way that Ortiz sets up his team that you use in preparation for this match?
No, pretty similar tactics, but different players, different habits, different behaviors. So, and we're different as well. So, and that was in a friendly, and we've made a lot of changes. So there isn't a whole lot we can draw from that, other than the teams that he fields are, always show a high level of intensity and football, and so we'll be ready for both.
Next question, John Lupo.
Steve, Monterrey seemed like they might be, maybe if not the best team you played, the most balanced team you played with their 4-4-2 formation. To me, it seems like their fullbacks overlap. They're very decisive in their attacking movements. They're very good passing the ball vertically. Do you feel like that maybe you want to force them to play more compact, more narrow when they have the ball? And also with the midfield that you have, we know transition will be a key for both teams. Do you feel like with their fullbacks overlapping, that maybe if you win the ball back in good areas, you can play either vertically or more the direct, more inside, and take advantage of the space that maybe their fullbacks are giving, since they are overlapping and maybe out of position?
Sure, it's one opportunity. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You can invest numbers forward, like they like to do, but you leave yourself vulnerable on the counterattack. It also depends on our ability to press the ball and to cause mistakes. So if you do not get ample pressure on the ball, you won't cause mistakes, and they are technically proficient enough to wiggle their way out of some problems and some pressures. Then putting numbers forward is a huge advantage for them. So it's a little bit of both. I think they believe in their ability to build out of the back with obviously the center backs and 2-6s and push the rest forward, and they're really good at it. So we'll have our work cut out for us, and if our defensive work is good, there are opportunities on the counter. If our defensive work is not good, there are opportunities for them in their offensive organization, and we'll have obviously solutions in the other phases as well.
And we'll have one final question from Josh Gross.
Steve, how has it been integrating the new players that you brought into the window, and what should we expect from Mario Gonzalez, who's available, got his visa? What should we expect from him on Friday?
The integration process here at LAFC is pretty simple and organic, and I haven't heard any complaints from any player, whether it's been a bigger name like Gareth Bale, or no disrespect to Philip, but to Philip, a younger player who is joining us. It's really easy. We speak pretty much every language possible in this building, so we have all languages covered, all personalities, characteristics covered, and we're a pretty easy group to get to know and to get along with. So integration is really easy here. On the field stuff is also quite simple. We have our tools we use to get players up to speed with the way we want to play, and then it's down to the work on the field, and in the end it's up to the player himself to integrate himself quickly and to learn quickly in order to be a contributor. So that's never been an issue here, and I don't anticipate that in the future. With Mario, more of the same. I think we expect a player who's a 9, has been a 9 his entire career, who will give us a reference as a 9 on the field where everybody can kind of work off of. I think that's really important. Somebody who certainly is a talented finisher in the box with his running off the ball. So you're going to see a true 9 on the field, which we haven't had in a while. So it's something that I think will make us better.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for being late.